Here we are, seasons 20 and 21 of Power Rangers. We've all heard how Megaforce failed from countless people, including me. It screwed up and wasted really good opportunities. However, this video is to talk about what the two seasons did right. Also, I won't be using anything from the anniversary portions of the series. Megaforce has to hold up without outside help.
Gosei Cards.
The Megaforce card system was different from other seasons' equipment. It allowed access to their weapons, swords, and powers. I think this system was better than, say, Mystic Force's spell codes. You don't have to remember numbers and just scan cards. A happy accident how the cards and Ranger keys link together with the way they work, even though they're from two different Sentai seasons. If the Gosei Morpher was something different than his head, I would have liked the gimmick better instead of just a card game.
Metal Alice.
Out of all the side villain characters, Alice is really the only one you care about. She was built by Rock to keep his main plan going when he was gone and busy upgrading himself. She can be somewhat boring. Alice always plans things out or watches from the sidelines, but that's what made her smart. You win by analyzing your enemy, try to find weaknesses or things to exploit. She also had a heart. Alice cared about Brock and his goal. She never betrayed him or cared how she was used by him because she knew that it had a purpose. Her rivalry with Robo Knight was pretty interesting. She didn't understand why he does what he does. She lacked an understanding of the good side, Earth, and the Rangers. I would have loved if Metal Alice was used at the start instead of focusing on General Melkor and Creekpox. They did nothing toward the story.
Robo Knight.
Power Rangers, I have to say, always does robot characters pretty good. They usually don't do the whole emotionless cliche that gets done in a lot of sci-fi shows. They treat them as everyone else. Robo Knight lacked the understanding on why humans do this and that, but he also saw the value in looking up the information on why Troy and the others act this way. He wants to get into the mindset of a human. For a character that had a limited emotional range, he was more likable than half the Megaforce cast. Robo Knight made you think about the planet in a more black and white way. His kid-like behavior was fun, because he could be serious one minute, then doing that crazy dance in another. Knight was the cherry on top of this season. Him dying to save Orion was great. Him coming back because we can't have Rangers permanently dead is what makes it fall apart.
The suits.
The Megaforce and Super Megaforce suits were pretty good. Megaforce's helmets were simple. They had their animals painted on them versus being molded in, kind of like graffiti or tattoos. They were also a part of the morph. I like that the chest emblems were pieces of one big emblem. It makes more sense in Goseiger, but it was still cool that they had small emblems in one. The pirate theme of Super Megaforce was fitting in a lot of ways. It was a style not done on PR before, so we get flintlock guns, buccaneer swords, Troy had a flying boat with wings, the kind of crazy you expect in PR, and since they're pirates, they pirated the past Ranger powers. That was pretty funny to me. The super helmets, visors kind of went in a scarred pirate look. Each one had like a cut under their eyes, or maybe some people look at it like they're crying, gone through some heavy stuff. The both season buckles house their main gimmicks, holding their cards and Ranger keys, which I like. Most buckles in the past don't really do anything, so when you get that belt buckle set, they look nice, but have no real purpose.
Gia.
Moving through the characters, Gia, she's good. She's a cool looking lady that likes all kinds of people. At the same time isn't dumb. She knows that Jake likes her and keeps trying to impress her just so he can go out on a date but doesn't frolic to him. The whole cat and mouse dynamic was fun. Gia is also the only cast member to fit within the two Sentai seasons perfectly. While she's strong-willed for Goseiger's footage, she's also fits as third in command of the team how Gokaiger used yellow.
Rock.
He was the best villain in both seasons. It was cool that they linked the villains as brothers, so it felt like a overarching family dynamic, but it really never worked because they were not together. Second, all the generals and sub-main bosses, they didn't get much to do. At most, cliches, I'm mad because of blah. I serve this whiny Prince Vicar because reasons. Vrock had his huge plan. He was trying to get rid of the Power Rangers in order to make it easier for the Armada to conquer Earth. Super intelligent, did some risky, crazy ideas which almost got him killed the first time. He created Metal Alice, a perfect piece to his chess game, captured Orion to enact his final plan, corrupted Robo Knight. He did all these horrible things, while Prince Vicar, Bluefin, and Biggs were just filler characters. They had no real menacing presence for the show. I was always saying, when is Vrock coming back? When is Vrock coming back? Can you imagine what Vrock and Metal Alice could have done if they weren't inhibited by morons? Imagine Vrock in command of the Armada with Metal Alice replacing Damaris, Argus, and Levira. They couldn't save the show 100%, but at least I would have been scared of the bad guys. Not be like, what's this Vicar wimp doing here? Why does anyone follow this guy?
Megazords.
These things can be amazingly cool looking or really clunky sometimes. I thought both Megazords for the 2 seasons were interesting. The Gosei Megazord I didn't really care for when I first saw it, so I never really got Gosei stuff. I think it was because they combined so many different types of vehicles and animals, it threw me off, the train being the weirdest choice. Looking back now, they do fit, except that ostrich, screw that thing. I think that's why Ninja Steel tried the same approach. In that case, a train and a dog just don't work. Now, the legendary Megazord, it works best in Megazord mode, mainly because they're usually in space, so a race car looks really weird. I just like the pirate stuff. The hat for the Megazord, the toy allowed you to take it off, and it had a bandana underneath it. The chest cannon thing was good stuff. The past Zord modes were kind of weak. I like the idea of compartments that can pop stuff in and out, but a few of them didn't look good. Mystic Dragon and Turbo Falcon, I didn't like them at all. But Lion and Samurai being 2 seasons in 1 was the best alternate mode. Jake, you can't hate him. He has his fun. One of my favorite animals are snakes. Gives him a plus. At the same time, understood and respects being a ranger as an important job. G and Jake going hand in hand. He's the glue that got all the characters to do stuff. He helps everyone to continue on when they get tired. He's the soul of the seasons. He's just like Mike in Samurai. They both want to keep their personal lives active, not get rid of them. Troy and Noah are the ones that go in that direction. At the end of the day, I relate to Jake. I think I would do the things he does. It's a stressful job. You gotta have some fun somehow. Why not be happy and goofy every day?
Orion.
Out of all the characters, Orion had the best backstory, the best motivation. He lived an ordinary life on his planet, and the Armada screwed him. So he came to Earth to stop them, try to prevent Earth from falling the same way. Orion is very noble. Most people would want blood from them. He wasn't just drama and tears. We saw an alien goofy side too. They took advantage of him being not from Earth, so he lived in a locker, did all this strange stuff. I just wish they expanded on it. I respected him. He tried to gain a life on Earth, made new friends, and even worked at Ernie's brain freeze. I wish they did more with stuff with that too. The one thing that the Neo Saban season seems to get right are the 6 Rangers. I never had any real major problem with them. Antonio, Ivan, Orion, Robo Knight, and even Levi. Can the whole cast equally get more story bits?
Ranger keys.
This is kind of hard. I don't want to use anniversary elements to prop up seasons. I want seasons to be held by its own merits. But the Ranger keys are a part of their equipment. It's probably the best thing any show has come up with to do nostalgia, returning characters, and symbolizing a franchise. It's cool that we, as the viewer, can see old season things again, but for the Rangers, it benefits them greatly. They have access to so much equipment, so many abilities they wouldn't normally be able to do. Need to do a rescue in space? Switch to the Space Ranger suits and use the Galaxy Gliders. Dealing with toxic fumes? Switch to Lightspeed Rescue. Aliens too fast for you? Go Time Force and do their Matrix stuff. Channel the spirits in Jungle Fury. Use the Samurizers or Mystic Morphers to create anything you need. The options are endless, on top of all their main equipment. It's the pinnacle of power a Ranger team had access to. It's unfortunate that this happened to Megaforce. You know, this is the show's 20th anniversary. Not many series last this long, let alone a kids show. It's an honor and a curse. So much backstory, so many characters over the years, good and bad. We just want to see something fun, enjoyable, that makes sense. Live up to the level that we've all seen from the show before. Saban brands and toy companies should be humbled that they have a fan base around the world who cares about this series, want to see it continue, and want to tell good stories for everyone. What are the things you'd like in Megaforce? And if you have a suggestion or a topic you'd like me to cover in a future episode, leave a comment down below. Next week we're going into another topic with my 10 favorite Zord combinations.